Hey, life group leaders and coaches, this is Dan. I'm here with Ken Boblinick, and we're coming up on Christmas time, and exciting things are happening. You already know this. God is doing some incredible things in our church. We are about to launch the Avon Lake campus pretty soon. Thrilled about that, and as you know, our church is growing, and we've talked about this before, but we still, as much of our churches in life groups, we probably still have a couple of hundred people that just haven't engaged and gotten connected yet. They need to be in life groups. So what I'm finding is people are signing up for life groups. We're putting people in one at a time here and there, but we're just not where we want to be in getting to complete. I want to be at 110%. I want to have our whole church in life groups, and then I want to have another 200 or 300 people who are finding out about God in life groups, and just a really important time. So what I've done is I've brought Ken Boblinick in. Ken has grown his group incredibly with God's help, and just done a great job at recruiting, and has actually planted 2 life groups. And probably will be planting another one before too long. I wouldn't be surprised. So what I want to do is ask Ken some questions. So Ken, you have grown, by God's grace, have grown your life group and planted 2. What's your secret, man? What's your secret, first of all, to adding people to the group?
Well, it comes with a little story, because about 3 years ago, 4 years ago, we used to get people brought in, just sent to our life group. They'd sign up on a card, they'd come to, and we had to call them, they wouldn't call me back, they wouldn't show up.
A lot of our leaders had the same thing. Yeah.
So I was praying about that one day, going, Lord, why is that? Why, The Lord kind of said in my heart, don't rely on people just to step forward. You go out and find people to be in your life group. Okay? So you constantly you come to church, and I pray in church, and well, we all pray in church, but I pray about who's sitting around me that I can reach out to, meet, talk to, and then straight up conversation with. And will it be the first? Typically, people sit in the same spot in church. If you notice, so if you're one of those people that sit in the same spot, you got your little area right around you, that kind of your ministry area, you call it, where you can just see those same people sitting, reach out to them every week, and then as you get to know them a little better, the bees, you invite them. That's pretty much it. And that's what I've done. And there's lots of people in my group say, "Oh, the joke is don't sit behind Ken because you're gonna be in his life group." That's how we work.
That's cool. So would you say that it's a really awkward thing, or I mean, when you start talking to the people around you, I mean, for some of these people, this is a hard thing.
Yeah.
So what would you tell to the person who's maybe a little bit quieter, not as outgoing, but needs to do this nonetheless? We want all of our life group leaders doing this.
How do you approach somebody? Really, it's just how do we sit and talk? People tend to want to talk about what they know most about, which would be themselves. So you're just asking questions. Engaging in conversation.
So I'm going to admit something that not everybody knows. I'm actually shy. People don't believe it, but I actually do well in knowing that this is my role, and I can feel comfortable when it's my job to talk to people. So I'm going to encourage you as a life group leader, part of your job is talking to people around you on a Sunday morning. So you can do that. You can say, "Hey, I'm Jeff. I'm one of the life group leaders here at the church, and part of my job is just helping people get connected. So, I haven't really known you before. Can you tell me a little bit about how you got connected to the church? Ask them about themselves, and always end. Here's the thing: you can tell them that you're supposed to do this. Always end with an invite to your life group.
Exactly.
Hey, have you ever thought about joining a life group? Think about coming out to ours. There's no pressure. Come and just visit once, see what it's like. We'd love to have you. Some free coffee, maybe even dinner."
The question I always ask is, how long have you come an open door?
That's a great question.
Okay? And some people tell me, I've been here for 8 years. Oh, really?
Yeah.
I've never met you.
Yeah.
It's a simple one. I'm becoming.
Better, and you don't want to say, "Are you new here?"
Right.
You want to say, "How long you've been coming?"
Right.
So that's good. So let me ask the next question. Ken, thinking about how you've planted 2 life groups, and from experience I can tell you, these are great life group leaders. Ken has put out some of the best life group leaders we have. So tell me, how do you get people to plant life groups? How do you get leaders, and how do you plant them out?
It's kind of in any one of your groups, you're going to see there's certain people that kind of stand out a little bit. They have more of they interject things more. They talk more. And what I typically do is after about 5-6 months in my life group, I usually plant a little seed, a little hint. You'd be a great life group leader someday. Oh, don't say that, Ken, blah, blah, blah. And maybe a little while longer, I'm like, hey, you should really think about this. I really like the way, you encouraging. You're
Yeah.
encouraging them to think about it and to pray about it. And it seems like every time I've done that, it's kind of developed into a life group.
That's cool.
That's it. That's pretty much it. I let God do the work. I don't do really anything.
It's perfect. You plant the seeds, let the Holy Spirit do the
He
watering.
takes care of it.
So tell me this, from the time you talk to that person the first time to the time they launch out a life group, how long would you say that normally is?
About 6 months.
6 months?
I usually keep it 6 months.
6
Let
months.
them kind of go through it, and they'll say, well, I might not be ready yet. And I say, okay.
Cool.
But once the Holy Spirit starts,
That's right.
working on them,
Cool.
next thing you know, they're meeting with you and starting groups.
All right.
That's how it works.
So very last thing, since we got a couple of minutes here, this is going to be a longer video, but that's intentional because I haven't done any in a while. Tell me this: we're getting ready to go towards this Avon Lake campus.
Mm-hmm.
What are the biggest needs you have as a leader, as a recruiter, right now for that project that we're doing?
Well, just like here, we want to have 100% of our people at that campus in life groups too. So as of right now, I think we've kind of maybe 4 life groups over there that we have. So we're going to be looking for new leaders. So if you've been thinking about it or just wondering, hey, can I lead? Odds are, if you're thinking about it, you probably can. And with coming into some of the life training stuff we have, and hanging out with me a little bit, and coming to my group. If you really think about doing it, come to my group. I'll show you how I lead.
Yeah.
Our groups are very. First of all, I didn't say this earlier, but our groups are always open. I mean,
There's no such thing
as a closed group for
Yeah.
me. So if it grows to 20 people, ideally, we'd like to have it 12, 14. Gets kind of hard, but gets 20, then I know we got to split. So that's why we
don't
have
say
people.
split. We say multiply.
Multiply.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That's all right.
That's a bad word.
It is. We don't want splits. We want multiplication.
So where was
You were talking about getting up to
Yes.
20 and
20. Yeah, and then so there we go. Like I say, the big thing is your group's always open. Okay,
Yeah.
Make sure you think that way. I mean, at least for me, because I know there's groups out there that we don't want any more people. I've had people actually call me, hey, is your group open or is it closed? It's closed. I don't understand what you mean. So I have to say, this group's always open because we want everybody plugged in. But for Avon Lake though, we're leaking out some information here that probably shouldn't be leaked out yet. We shouldn't mention Avon Lake.
Doing it. So they know that there might be something.
There might be something.
We
there might be
haven't
something.
said anything for sure.
There might be something happening in Avon Lake. You might hear an announcement this weekend about something. Not saying what it is. Nicely said, Dan.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're going to be looking for more people for that area. Let's put it that way.
Perfect. All right. Now, I know we got to go because it's been a longer video, and so I'm not expecting you to watch all this at once. Some of you are thinking about a brand new or a full open group, and some of you have childcare issues, and as soon as you start thinking about an open group, you get really nervous about what you're going to do with all the kids. I want you to know that's a legitimate issue, and probably in the next video we're going to be addressing that a little bit because we're trying to figure that out ourselves. I'm in the midst of that right now. Our biggest cap is not how many people are in our life group, but how many kids we have. It's a whole other issue we're going to deal with. So all that in mind, Merry Christmas. I know we're coming into a really interesting Christmas time. This is a great time to catch up with your people in your group. Give them a call. Thank them for being a part of it. Thank your host for hosting. And just remind everybody how much you love them. Also, this is a great time to bring people in. People are open during Christmas time. This is a great time to talk to somebody about launching a life group, a great time to talk to a new person about joining a life group, a great time to talk to your life group about a new step in service. Yep. So keep all that in mind, and let me tell you this right now. Thank you so much for all you are doing. God is doing incredible things in this church and in this community because of you. And I know that there's a lot of great things happening in this church, but they are all held together. They are all multiplied through life groups. So thank you, thank you, thank you. You are accomplishing the Great Commission, and God is doing incredible things. Merry Christmas. We'll talk to you soon. Thanks again for being here.